Hey, what's going on, people? Um, it's got pretty dark right now, if you can see. Yeah, it's really dark, and it's sun is down. You know, what I like about this job is free parking. I'm going to be here for, I guess, the rest of next year and the rest of this year. I'm going to be working every day, no breaks, no days off. And you have the option of working on Sunday, which is a day off to get extra work. But I want to tell you something I never disclosed on this channel. Now, I don't go by labels. I don't adhere to labels whatsoever. I don't identify with medical labels by doctors. There are things about me that are still present that I can't really control. I have little to no control over. There are certain traits about me that will never, ever be changed. Like the fact that I need to check when my lights in my car are turned off so my battery doesn't where die, like my battery doesn't drain out. That happened before, so every time I close every before I close my door, I always like touch the little scrolling part on my car to make sure my light is off. I'll do it more than once. I always make sure my door is locked, and then if I have to check for something like I left in the car, I always have to check the scrolling device on my in my car. But you can consider that like OCD, I guess, like always checking to make sure things are like the way they are. If it ever rains, I always get the impression that like my car is flooded, so I always make sure my windows are up. Even when I know they're probably up, I just double check because I have like a back window that's a little like broken. But checking things is just something that I've been doing since the age of, because let me just say this, a lot of this stuff sort of like it cultivated in me. It sort of like just developed over time. Like the way when I was younger, I would always make sure things were in pile, like in like little rolls. One time I cleaned my mother's room and I made sure everything on her dresser was like facing straight. Like it wasn't it wasn't like pointed in a certain in like an opposite direction. Everything was lined up together. And then fast forward, one present trait about me that I can't really get rid of is I'm a hoarder. I'm a hoarder when it comes to books, things that I value. Mostly since I've been reading since the age of 22, I'm a real book hoarder and a hoarder in general. There are things that I just can't get rid of. I can't get away from. But they would consider that like OCD. It's a few more other things too. Like I don't like touching anything that's like with people's like spit or like sweat on it. I can't touch it. I can't touch like it's certain foods I can't eat, like sensitivities to food. It's a lot of things about me that's just real unconventional. But I can't change those traits about me. And I don't like to use the whole defense that I was born this way. I believe that foods, medication, maybe vaccines can play a part in how people turn out. Like I said, like with my seizures, I've been sort of suffering from like paralysis since 15, but my seizures, they originated around the age of 4. So I've been suffering from this for about a good over 20, going on 25 years. But I don't have paralysis no more. And I've learned how to like control my seizures. I just don't watch cartoons or anything with like vivid colors in it where it doesn't trigger them. I probably won't even really watch TV very much because it's just like I don't want to ever feel what I felt 3 months ago where I had an episode and almost died. But there are things about me that I can't change. And a lot of it too comes from childhood, childhood trauma, things that I just witnessed and just experienced as a kid. And I remember this one time, my dad, I forgot what it was about. I remember this was back in '06. I was watching the SpongeBob 100 episode marathon or something. I remember specifically around '06. This was SpongeBob had like 100 episode marathon. And I probably know what I'm talking about if you're around my age. And I was watching it downstairs on the big TV in the basement. And I was gonna stay up probably all night and watch it. I don't know. I think I had school the next day, but I hate how they had that running on Thursday, and they wanted to air like every episode for like the rest of the night, like well into 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and people have school the next day. But I remember that very night, my dad came home from work late, and to this day I don't remember what it was where he was really upset with me. But one time, that night, it was him, girlfriend, my brother, her daughter. They were in the house, and I don't remember if it was homework I didn't do or something I didn't do. I don't really remember what it was. This is almost 17 years ago. But I remember the first thing he did. He asked me a question, and he had a belt. He used to like hit me with this belt if I did something wrong. So I remember this one night, he when he asked me something, I guess it was about my homework, I don't remember. But he got so mad. And I just remember his belt was like right beside him. It was on his waist. That I just ran from him. I ran in the bathroom and locked the door. I locked the door on him. And it would have been worse. I didn't want to be hit with no belt, of course. But I ran in the bathroom. And I remember he followed me upstairs, and I wouldn't come out the bathroom. His girlfriend was like, "Open the door. He's not going to hurt you. He's not going to do anything to you." And I'm like, I didn't open that door at all. And I think maybe around this age, he stopped putting hands on me. At least he did like one time when I said something he didn't like. But when that happened, I guess he stopped putting hands on me, like if I did something wrong or whatever. But one time, I don't know what it was. This was so I'm just thinking about it right now. So when I was 19, and this is when this is the last time I ever slept or did anything at my dad's house. One time, we were in the kitchen, and let me just do a part 2.